All right, you guys, I'm back for more. But this time, I'm not doing a live because it was a little bit more awkward, I think. And also knowing that people are coming in as I'm talking, that made me feel awkward. And what it made me do, it made me repeat myself. And then, so when you go back and you actually watch the video, I'm just repeating myself the whole time. So I am gonna just do a regular video and I'm gonna post it. That way I don't get distracted by all of you guys coming in and feeling like I need to repeat myself, as I just did. Also, I was doing it because I was nervous, obviously, but it's okay. It's okay. My social media manager told me not to do that, so I won't anymore. Just kidding, I don't actually have a manager, but feedback was stop repeating myself, and I will try to stop saying it's just weird doing it. It's nice going in front of a camera and talking, but it is a little weird and it is a little different, so you have to get used to it. And I will try to stop saying okay, so here we go. What I'm gonna talk to you guys about today is actually nothing that I even brought up in the last video, but as you can tell by the title, I decided to talk about how to keep a healthy relationship. And I wrote notes, so I'm gonna be looking at my notes. That way I'm not so scatterbrained and I'm not all over the place. So that's why I'm looking down. If I'm looking down, is because I'm trying to stay organized. Like I said, I ramble and I talk a lot, so I'm gonna try to just keep it organized. Yes. Okay. So, how to keep a healthy relationship. Okay, well, before we really get into that, I want to start off with saying that I don't know if you guys know this, but about 50% of damn, I lost my train of thought. Okay. 50% of marriages end up in divorce. About 50%. That is a pretty high number. That is marriages in America. And you can look it up. It's a real statistic. And I just want to start there because it's just sad to know that 50% of America have broken families, have broken children, because when you break up those families, those children are broken. They are hurt. They are not okay. They go through trauma because of the parents' divorce. And, I'm sure a lot of you guys have been affected by this. A lot of you guys grew up in single family homes. Some of you guys have not. Some of you guys, your parents have stayed together for a long time. But there are those families who grew up, or those children who have grown up in single parent homes. And I do remember, when I was growing up, I remember a lot of people around me grew up with divorced parents. And it really hurts us and it hurts our children. It hurts the children nowadays. It hurt us growing up. It hurt everyone our age, and the crazy thing is, these children who grew up in single parent homes, they are now, or because of the divorce, they have a higher chance of not doing so well in life. or not being happy with themselves, not being not following a good path. And I just want to start off with that because it's so important for us to, one, find good people to be in relationships with, and to start a healthy relationship, and two, if you're already in a relationship, how to keep it healthy, how to make sure that you maintain it healthy. And we're not increasing those numbers. We don't want to keep that divorce rate number going. We don't want to keep it. We don't want to make that number keep going up or whatever. Okay. We need to stop that. We need to, if anything, decrease that number, because when we do that, when we are going through divorces and we have families, we are not thinking about our children and the things that they're going to go through and the trauma that they're going to go through, the hurt that they're going through. It causes a lot of hurt because, we always hear how parents are fighting for custody, parents are not getting along, so they're involving their children. When the parents are not on the same page, they're not getting along, the child or the children know what's going on. They know that, they're going to see their dad on the weekend and not every weekend, and it's not going to be stable. There's not going to be structure. And, you hear your mom talking bad about your dad talking bad about your mom, and it just creates a lot of resentment and friction and instability. It is not good for the children to grow up in that environment. And, we just have to work hard at keeping healthy relationships, starting healthy relationships and keeping them healthy. And, let's see. Yeah, just that's kind of where I wanted to start off with this video, is just a result of unhealthy relationships. This is what happens. So how do you keep a healthy relationship? Obviously, okay, I'm no expert at this, but I have had experiences that work well for me and have worked well for me, and I think I've also seen relationships, healthy relationships, very rare, but I've seen some healthy relationships where they've stayed together for a really long time and they've had really great advice on how to make things work. Because the majority of people around me, and I'm sure the majority of people around you guys, the relationships are not the best, or there's divorces and there's broken families. My parents actually did end up getting divorced, but growing up, I grew up with both my parents up until I was out of high school. I think my first year in college, they ended up divorcing. And I know that the unhealthy relationship that my parents had did have an effect on me growing up. It had an effect on how I acted, how I was in school. Some of the consequences, at least from my own experience. I was a young teen craving attention from boys. I was boy crazy, and I was so concerned about wanting attention because I wasn't really getting it at home. I wanted it elsewhere. I didn't really have a lot of structure growing up. Even though my parents were together, there wasn't a lot of structure, a lot of discipline. So I kind of I had attitude with teachers, I had attitude with friends, or I created drama. I was very, I don't know, like for example, I do remember, okay, this was in elementary school, but I remember being mad at one of my friends because she stayed friends with someone else that I was not friends with. So I don't know, things like that. Maybe it's just a thing, like drama, but I'm just saying, like, I saw unhealthy patterns from my parents, and so I learned unhealthy patterns for myself. So I don't know. I guess I was kind of troubled in middle school and high school. And I wish I would have seen a much healthier relationship between my parents, but I didn't, and that didn't work out, and that's fine. Luckily for me, they still were together for most of my life, but I know not everyone has that. So how do we keep healthy relationships? So the first thing that I wrote here is that you have to be healthy first. You as an individual, you have to be healthy within yourself. You have to I made a good point here actually. You should have, excuse that. You should have healed from your past traumas, from, let's say, your parents' divorce or whatever traumas that you might have gone through. You need to have healed from that, and that you heal from therapy, talking to people, or finding ways to heal on YouTube. Like I said before, you can find anything online, videos. And you need to really do it. Get a diary, whatever. Heal from your past traumas. That's so important for you to be able to be healthy with yourself and move on from your past. Is you need to heal from your traumas. You need to have, after that, you need to love, and you need to accept yourself for you. You need to love yourself, and you need to accept yourself. You need to be confident in yourself, and we're all so different and we're not perfect, but you need to accept you for how you are. If you're more, okay, for example, me, I tend to be more sensitive, more okay, I'm more sensitive than most people. Instead of hating that part of myself or not accepting myself for that, embracing, okay, I'm more sensitive. So I'm gonna first accept that and try to find the good in that. Try to find why it's a good thing. Well, I'm more compassionate. I'm very compassionate about people. I'm very compassionate about people around me, and I'm very empathetic. Or find good things about yourself, love yourself, and accept yourself. And it's not easy. Easier said than done. And a lot of the things that I'm going to be talking about are probably going to be easier said than done, for sure, but they can be done. We all still struggle with that. No matter how much you've practiced these things, no matter how much you've gone to therapy, it's still a struggle. So I get that also. You should also know what you want. You should know what it is that you want for yourself and your future. Do you want a family? Do you want kids? Do you want to have a nice home? Do you want to travel the world? Know those things first. You need to know that about yourself, because then if you're looking for a relationship, you're gonna find, or you're gonna look for someone that has the same values or has the same goals as you. So know what you want, and you should always stay open to growing and to being a better person, and not being so close-minded, because we're not perfect. We don't know everything. So just being open to other ideas, being open to growing, and bettering yourself. So you have to be healthy with yourself. Okay. So if you are single, and you've already done all these things, you're healthy, you know, you've put in the work. When you are starting a relationship, you need to date with intention. So when you're looking for a person to be with, you need to date with that intention, with the intentions of wanting a, let's say, long-term relationship, this kind of relationship where, you know, you both want kids, you both want the same things. That's why I said wanting the same goals for each other. So if you're single, you've taken care of yourself, but now you're looking for your partner, look for similar goals that you guys have. Look for a healthy person. Look for someone that has also worked through their traumas and is healthy mentally. Because you don't want to get in a relationship with someone that's unhealthy, and you don't want to be unhealthy and the other person be unhealthy. So it's just good to start off this way. You need to have a good start to your relationship. Okay. Okay, this is gonna help me stay on topic and stay on track. So I'm gonna just keep looking at this. So don't mind me. But I just made like a layout of what I want to talk about and some of the things that I've learned from personal experiences and stuff. So if you are in a relationship, how you keep things healthy is, I keep saying, sorry. Okay, sure. So if you're in a relationship, you have to, and this is something that you've already heard, and you've all heard this, is having good communication with your partner. You need to be able to communicate with your partner. You guys need to be able to be on the same page about whatever it is, whether it's finances or goals that you guys have for yourselves or for each other or together. You guys need to be on the same page about your relationship and where it's going, where you guys want to go together. So start off with having good communication and being open with your guys' goals, or just being on the same page. If you're not on the same page about certain things, this is where compromise comes in. You guys need to find an in-between, a middle ground. One of you guys is gonna have to, you know, move an inch a little closer to the other person. That way you guys can meet somewhere in the middle or get close to the middle instead of staying far apart from each other. You guys need to both, you know, men and both women need to get closer to a middle ground and compromise. Oh yes, this is important. So good communication also means that when you are arguing, it's okay to argue. You should argue. You need to, you know, you guys are not going to agree on everything. But when you are arguing, you do not call each other names. You guys aren't being spiteful and bringing each other down and saying things, hurtful things to each other, because you know it's going to hurt them. And so the other person says something hurtful. You don't do that. You don't bring each other's weaknesses into an argument, because you're being spiteful at this point. And why would you, why do that to the person that you love? Why do that to your partner? You chose this person to be with. You chose this person to have a relationship with, and you love them. So why hurt them? That's not healthy. So you guys need to, when you guys are arguing, you know, maybe you guys will say things you don't mean, but you don't say it about each other. You you guys need to, I mean, and this is hard. This is a hard thing to do. But you guys need to listen to each other and understand, try to understand the other person during an argument. And it might take a little while to get there because you guys are arguing, going back and forth, 10 minutes in, or 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, you do that. 15, 20 minutes in, you realize, okay, I'm just going to listen. This is not going anywhere. We're going in circles. I'm going to just listen. It might take a while, and that's fine, but you just have to make it a practice where both of you guys try to listen to each other and try to understand each other. Yes, both of you guys need to try to find a solution together, because this is something I learned and I really appreciate this. When there's a problem in your relationship, the way you guys have to see it is you against the problem, not let the problem make you guys go against each other. You guys are a team, so you guys stick together to try to find a solution for this problem. Don't try to fight each other on this or that. Like, you guys need to come together and say, this is the issue. How are we going to figure this out together? What are the solutions? What can we do to compromise? Yes, it's just some practices to get used to. Okay, another way to keep a healthy relationship is with trust. Obviously, this is another big one. You have to trust each other. If you are single or you're starting a relationship, you need to start that relationship with trust. You have to build a relationship with trust, and you have to be honest with each other, even if it's uncomfortable or you don't. You have to be honest with each other. So yes, this is gonna lead into my message to women out there. You have to trust your partner, your man in your life to lead your relationship, because the man is going to be the leader of your relationship. And how I'm saying this is, he's going to be the one, to make the final say in, let's say, a financial situation or a financial decision that you guys have to make. So you guys have to trust. You guys have to let your man lead, and you have to trust that he's gonna make the right choice for you, for your family or your future family. You guys have to trust that he is gonna lead you to success. Now, if you see that maybe he's not making the right choices, that he's making wrong decisions financially or whatever, and you notice, we're going down a bad path, the way that you communicate this is not by, let's say, nagging at the person. You don't tell him what to do or tell him what not to do, because you know why? Because men, they have egos. And this is just a general thing. Men just generally, they just have egos. So if you challenge their ego, if you challenge them, they are not going to be receptive. If you nag them, they are not going to be receptive. So here's a little tip. What you have to do is, you don't tell them what to do. You just talk about the problem or the issue or what you think, and you try to, you bring certain things up in a way where he ends up changing his mind or finding a different solution, and it's the same solution that you're saying, because you're kind of hinting at it. You're kind of, trying to communicate that, and let him think that he found the solution, and that let him, you know, come to this conclusion and change his mind on this and say, you know what, I'm going to do this instead. Just because you are letting him think that he's making these choices. And the thing is, men, they like to lead. They have a desire to lead and a desire to provide for their family. So you gotta let them lead, and you have to be okay with that, because it is what am I trying to say? I'm kind of going off right now. Let me see. Yes, so what I'm trying to say is let him lead. And I know that this might be somewhat controversial for some of you watching. You guys, we're in an era, or we're like living a life where women hate men, and women say men are trash, men ain't shit, and this and that. And so what I'm saying is probably going to offend women out there, because they want to be the leaders of the household or whatever. It's not a bad thing to let your man lead, because it doesn't mean that you as a woman, you're going to stay quiet and you're not going to have a say in any of this. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying let him lead, but also, you know, you have a say too. Speak up when you need to speak up. If you see something's not happening, that's not going right, say something. But, you know, be respectful. That's why I said don't nag, don't be a pain in the ass, basically. Okay, and then this goes for men. So with that being said, you have to lead, and you have to lead with confidence, and you have to be sure of the choices that you're making. You have to lead your family to success. I'm not saying, I'm saying like success, like you are responsible for your family and where your family ends up. So you have to lead them to a good life. I'm not saying some extravagant home and wealthy and all this, but if that's what you want, go for it. I'm just saying you have to lead your family to success. You have to lead them to, you have to bring your family along and bring them to a good path and have a good future, because I'm sure you want that, your partner wants that, your kids are going to want that. So you have to lead with confidence, and you have to be sure of what you're doing. You have to research, you have to do your part to make sure you're making the right choice. But also, going back to what I said before, when I was telling, you know, women, when I was giving advice for women, men, you should also put your ego aside just a little bit. Just put it aside and understand that your partner's perspective also means a lot, and you should hear them out, and you shouldn't shut them down immediately. You should hear what they have to say, because it's probably going to be a different perspective you didn't think about. It might be a better idea, it might not, but you have to give it a shot. You have to be open to hearing what they have to say, even like a little bit. Yeah. Okay, my third point in having a healthy relationship, so far is good communication, trust, and my third point is having a good sex life. It's so important, and you guys all know it. You guys know it's important. You guys know it's crucial for a relationship to have. So I didn't really want to go into this one too much, but you guys know that it's important to meet each other's needs It's important to both of you guys communicate what those needs are. And, you know, ladies, put in some work, and it's okay. It's all right. You're gonna be okay. You know, sometimes, or a lot of times, we tend to say we're too tired, we have a headache, we make up excuses on why we don't want to, you know. But men are just built different. And women, we're not sexually driven like men. So you have to think of it as your man just wants to have a good time with you, and he wants to feel good, and he wants to do that with you. You know, think of it in a different way, not so negative. And look, on top of that, it's not gonna take that long, you know? It probably won't take that long. Even if you're tired for real, like you're actually tired, it's not gonna take that long. If you're not in the mood, get yourself in the mood, and it won't take that long. You're chilling, you know? And I think this is kind of uncomfortable for people to talk about. A little uncomfortable for me to talk about, but it's true. You just kind of have to, you know, communicate with each other, and both of you make the effort to meet each other's needs and just go for it. Yeah. Anyway, so those are my 3 points for today. Those are just some things that I kind of outlined, and I thought that those are important things on how to keep a healthy relationship. There's a lot more. There's many more things that we can talk about, but those are just the 3 things that I thought about. So, just a few other little bullet points and notes that I kind of made, or just to kind of close this off is, so if you are in a relationship, you gotta really try to make it work. And if it doesn't work, okay, it doesn't work. Move on and try to find yourself a healthy relationship, and it's something, like I said earlier, women and men, both of you guys need to date with intention, and both of you guys need to know what you guys want in a person, in a partner, and date with those intentions. But if you're already in a relationship, you have kids, you need to make it work. We need to decrease those divorce rates, and we need to make it work. You need to think about your kids. You need to think about your children involved. And you need to exhaust all options. Let's say you're having issues. Go to therapy. Try to communicate with each other better. Just talk to people around you, or talk to people that you trust around you on how to communicate with this person, or just you have to really try to make it work, because you don't want your kid to, you need to think about your children. You don't want your children or your kid to grow up with a broken family, no structure, no stability. You don't want them to go through that. You guys really need to work together to stay together. It's so important for families to stay together, and I advocate that a lot, because these numbers are just outrageous. And seeing these kids, these young kids, and even people my age that, you know, grew up with broken families, it's just really sad to see. And kids don't want to be going through that. Kids should be living their kid life. They don't want to be involved in their parents' problems. They don't want to, you know, see mom and dad fight and who's gonna get the kids, and you know, they don't want to be going through that. It's gonna hurt them a lot. So make it work. Make it work with your kids. Exhaust all your options. Another really cool thing is, for the, you know, people with kids also, you guys should learn and know each other's love languages. That way you know how to, you know, make the other person feel loved and feel special. You want to try to reignite and remind each other of the reason why you guys are together, or why you guys were attracted to each other from the beginning. Think about all the things that brought you guys together. Think about the beginning of your relationship, that honeymoon stage or whatever. You guys need to think about those things. And going back to the love languages, you need to know what makes the other person feel loved, what makes the person feel special. Is it gifts? Is it words of affirmation? You need to know these things about your partner. That way you can do these things. For example, it might be hard because you guys are already going through something, or like couples that have been together for a while, you guys are comfortable with each other. But what you guys have to do is get uncomfortable a little bit and know that person's love language and do something special for them. If they like to hear words of affirmation, make sure that you're doing those things. Make sure that you're encouraging them. Whatever it is, make them feel special. And it doesn't have to be something big. It could be little things. And for example, let's say you're trying something. You're trying to reignite something. And that other person is not receiving it well. That other person is not seeing it the same. They think it's weird. Okay, well then tell them, hey, I really like a man is trying to reignite something with his partner, and he is telling her, looking at her and appreciating her, telling her he loves her, and she just kind of brushes it away. That's discouraging for the man because he's putting himself out there. And so women, you need to be aware of that. You can't be so dismissive. And men, you could communicate. I don't know, maybe, I don't know. You can try to communicate. Just try to find things that are going to be thoughtful, things that are going to make the other person feel special, feel loved. For example, I can show you guys an example of something that I've done. Okay, I'll close down this video pretty soon, but it's kind of long already. So something you can do is, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to go out and buy stuff. You could just do something that's meaningful. Do I want to show it? I don't know. Okay. Okay, fine. I'll show it. I didn't know. Okay, I'll just show it. So, wait, do I want to show it? Okay, fine. I'll just show it. So, I made this thing. It's this mason jar here. It's got a whole lot of notes in here. And basically, I made this and I wrote little notes in here. And up here it says, to make you smile. So, when my partner opens this up, it's going to have a lot of cute things or things that are going to make him feel special. I wrote all kinds of different things in here that will make him smile, or hope that will make him smile. Some things may be cheesy, but just examples like that, just being thoughtful, thinking about your partner and what it is that they like, or just little things that will make them feel special. It will go a long way. And yeah, so also I was also thinking about this, and I think that couples that have been together for a while might see this and might think, well, it's easier for me to say because I'm not really in that relationship. But I think that if you just try to make it work and you try to get out of your comfort zone, because we tend to get comfortable with each other, and then it becomes so like stagnant. Like in the beginning of your relationship, you guys are flirting with each other, you guys have your first kiss and like all these things. There's so many high emotions and stuff. you should try to, you know, reignite that and keep that going to keep it healthy and keep it fun and stuff. So yeah, yes, those are my 3 main things on how to keep a healthy relationship. I do want to say that, you know, I did say if you're in a relationship, really try to make it work. Stay with your partner. Let's not increase those divorce rates. But I also want to say that I'm not advocating for domestic abuse or toxic relationships, because if you are going through that, what you need to do is you need to leave. You need to get out of that relationship. You need to heal, and you need to leave. It's just not a good place to be in. And you know if you're in a toxic relationship, or you know there's abuse in your relationship, any kind of abuse, physical, emotional, financial, you know that. So what I'm saying is leave from that, and you have the resources, you have people around you. You may have people around you. If you don't have family or friends around you, there are government resources for that, and you need to leave. You need to heal and move on. And well, not necessarily move on, but you know, heal. That's the most important thing, is heal and get yourself out of there. Don't stay in a relationship if it's like that. But I'm not saying, that's why I said healthy relationship. You know, how to stay in a healthy relationship. If you are in a toxic relationship where both of you guys are hitting each other, or being emotionally abusive towards each other, one of you guys needs to leave. It's not good. It's not good for you guys. So yes, just thought I'd put it out there, because you know, it's not healthy to be in this situation like that. So anyway, you guys, hopefully you like this video. I feel more comfortable doing this because I don't see people coming in and out and leaving comments, and I feel more comfortable talking. And I was way too shy before, and I mean, I'm still shy, but you know, it's different when you're seeing people come in and leave comments, or just seeing certain names pop up and you're just like, oh yeah, hey. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I have a lot to talk about, and I have a lot of interesting topics to talk about, and I'm constantly learning about new things and getting more information on stuff. And I just want, like I said before, I just want people to have a good life and to better themselves, and try to, you know, be a good person and be a better version of yourself every time. So I think that this is one really good way to keep a healthy relationship. Tell me if you guys like this video. Tell me what you guys think. You guys can message me if you don't want to comment, or just comment, whatever. Like, we're grown adults here, you know? Just comment. Tell me what you guys think. Maybe I'm gonna keep doing this. It's kind of fun. And maybe if you guys have different topics that you guys want me to talk about, I can. If not, I have topics that I want to talk about, so let me know. Also, this is a very long video, sorry. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will make another one soon. Bye.